what are you going to do? Are you going to crumble? Like your life is finished. What are you going to do in that situation?
Mm.
In that situation, the only thing that can save you or can keep you calm is that inner belief that I can handle it.
Yeah.
So when I was facing this brain tumor, I had already developed this mindset. I was not born with it. I had developed this mindset that I can handle it. So I knew I will find a way. This has come to me. It is a crisis. I don't know what is going to happen. It's going to be very difficult, but
Mhm.
somehow I will be able to handle it.
Yeah.
I will find a way. I don't know how, but one step at a time, one
Yeah.
small step at a time, I will make my way. I will navigate. This is going to
Mhm.
be fun. So this kind of mindset had developed uh, a few years ago when I was actually miserable, when I was failing in my life. So at that time when I was struggling through things, there I started understanding that what needs to be in you, because at the beginning I was completely defeated and like shattered, but gradually I came out of my failures and understood what failure is, what success is, and what is more important than these things,
Yeah.
which is your own self image, your own self confidence, your own self worth. So the
Mhm.
stronger it is, the more powerful you become, and you are able to handle different kind of situations in your life.
Welcome back to PCOS Unfiltered. Nourish, heal, thrive. I'm your host, Lindsie, and today's episode is one that reminds us what true resilience really looks like. My guest, Safal Sharma, has lived through an experience most of us can't even imagine, a brain tumor surgery that left the entire right side of his face paralyzed. But instead of panic or despair, he found peace, clarity, and an inner strength that completely transformed the way he lives and leads today. Safal shares how he rebuilt his body, his mindset, and his life with a level of grace and grounded resilience that applies far beyond his diagnosis. Whether you're navigating PCOS, hormonal chaos, or just one of life's curveballs, his story is a masterclass in what it means to say, I can handle it. As always, the content shared on PCOS Unfiltered is for informational and educational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed by the host and guests are not intended to serve as medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or treatment plan. The information shared is based on personal experience and expert interviews and is not a substitute for professional medical guidance. This conversation is so powerful, deeply human, and filled with wisdom that will help you see your own challenges through a new lens. Let's dive in. I am so excited about this episode because some might say it's not PCOS specific, but it I think fulfills what I try to do with this podcast, and that's just to spread hope too. And so you had a diagnosis, you went through, something very powerful yourself. And so I can't wait for you to share that. And so I think whether it's something like what you went through, or a diagnosis of PCOS, I think a lot of people need to hear this. So let's kind of just get started. If you want to start off by, yeah, maybe sharing a little bit about you and your story, and how did you show up differently when you got this diagnosis of a brain tumor?
Yeah. So my name is Safal Sharma, and I am a motivational speaker, mentor, guide, and I've been doing this for more than 2, 3 years, like before the diagnosis of my brain tumor. So basically, I was diagnosed with right vestibular schwannoma, which is a non-malignant tumor on the right nerve, hearing nerve in me. So it was diagnosed in 2022. Uh, Before that, I had different symptoms. I did not know. I was doing my thing, my profession, everything. But going through all these symptoms, like losing balance, having pain in body, not being able to properly even sleep, having diplopia or difficulty in writing, not being able to speak properly. So there were many symptoms like losing hearing on the right side of my uh, right here. So all these different things were happening, but because of not being diagnosed, I was not able to. We were not able to connect all these things. These were happening things, but we were thinking that maybe the pain in my right shoulder was coming from some sprain or strain or this loss of hearing or numbness on my face or not being able to write was because the nerve was compressed because of injury. So we were trying to make sense of things. Nobody imagines that you might have a brain tumor. Nobody imagines such a big thing. No, not even in your dreams. So I was struggling for very many years because this is a very slow growing tumor. It slowly grows very slowly. So it the symptoms started happening in 2014, somewhere around that, and finally diagnosed in 2022. And by
Wow.
the 2022, it was so big. It was not large. It was not huge. It was giant, like around the size of a ping pong ball. So all these years, I was struggling, having going through pain and not being able to do the things that you're supposed to do at that age, my youth. I was supposed to grow in my career and have relationships. I have all the normal things that you're supposed to have. But because of these constraints, because of all these pains, I was not able to do things. I was just being able to live or being able to stand was a struggle for me. And I was not realizing because of how slowly it grew. And because I was constantly fighting with it, I was like countering these things. If I was losing my balance, I was trying to do the exercises to improve my balance. If I was not able to write, I used to practice writing and stuff like that. The way I showed up differently, uh, I realized I was not realizing. I was just living my life. I did not know anything. It was just normal life. But I realized how I was being different was when the brain tumor was discovered finally in 2022 in June. In July, 5th July, it was discovered. And when it was discovered, when my mom came to me and she told me that you have a brain tumor, and I was finally one part was relief because finally all these symptoms made sense. It was finally discovered that you had something, so it was somewhere a relief. But another thing was that I did not get afraid or I did not get sad, but on the contrary, I felt and I related myself with that hero or that person who fights back. Like we watch movies and the hero goes through very difficult situations and they come out
Mhm.
through that. So I was thinking that I got brain tumor. I somebody like me. So I was letting that, oh, this is such a big crisis. I'll have to go through that. I will make a story out of that. So in that sense, I was looking at things. And even after hearing that, I went home and slept every day, like uh, responded very normally to things. I was calm, composed. I was motivating people around me. Like they could see it gives you strength. If somebody who himself or
Mhm.
herself has gone through something really big and they are calm and composed, and it was not suppression. I was not denying. I was not in that toxic positivity mode. I was uh, accepting everything, but my mindset was I can go through it, I can overcome through it, and most of all, I can bring wisdom through it because all the crises, all the adversities or pains in your life gives you some kind of wisdom. You become mature, you understand life better. So that kind of mindset I was having at that time, and it it came out even more conspicuously when I met the doctor, the main consultant. So
Mhm.
he was in another city. We had sent him all the reports and everything on through WhatsApp and other things. Uh, and after 2 days, when we went there, and I entered along with my parents, uh, there were three of us, and I was the only one of my age. He knew my age, and still he was asking, looking at us, who's the patient? He looked at the door, who's the patient?
Mhm.
I was standing normally, like, and I was wondering why is he asking this question? So, and when I got admitted also, each person. who was coming to take the reports and like make the notes of the patient, and they were telling me that you don't look like a patient. And I was asking, what does a patient look like? So later on, they told me like you had such a big brain tumor, and people they were habitual of seeing people who were broken, like falling down and like completely uh, depressed and things like that. But I was not like that.
Mhm.
So that ways, my response was very different for them, and they were habitual of seeing those kind of people. Like normally, a person breaks down and like they think, I don't want to go through this. Why me?
Yeah.
All that pain. It is very natural. So that ways I turned up differently, and even now, from that time till now, there hasn't been any day which where I have not slept or I have been asking these questions, why me? Or I have, they had recommended antidepressants after the surgery because before surgery I was like normal face. This was giving expression and I could hear from my right side, although I had a brain tumor. But after the surgery, because of those uh, that removing that brain tumor, some
Yeah.
injury happened in the facial nerve and stuff. So right now I'm having this facial paralysis, and people do get into depression because who wants to see their face like this?
Yeah.
So still, I did not take any antidepressant, and even when I'm talking to people and I'm meeting people, like I'm showing myself completely in front of people. So that has been different in terms of how I showed up differently, and largely because of my mindset. Nothing else has been different. I have gone through the same kind of physical pain. I was not able to sleep because of my pain, not because of my mindset, because I
Yeah.
couldn't close my eyes, or it was so dry. Tears was not forming initially 2 3 months. I was not able to sleep because of that. Pain was there. That kind of agitation, irritation that a patient goes through, that was there.
Mhm.
But not mentally, I was on top of myself, like top of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way,
Yeah. I mean, you said so many great things there because like one thing I think of immediately is I mean, you hear a lot of stories, I feel like, of people that get diagnosed with something and then they go downhill, really quickly. And I think it's probably because of the stress then of now dealing with that and thinking what's to come and all the unknowns. And that just causes more problems in the body, on top of what's going on. But I mean, you turned it around and you said, this is not happening to me, this is happening for me. And you've come out obviously like probably even stronger on the other side,
yes.
going through all of that. So, yeah, that's amazing.
Because the thing is, no, this simple thing doesn't define me.
Exactly.
Uh, every person is more than they know. Actually, they don't realize
Mm,
that they are far bigger and far stronger than they have known themselves. So these
yeah.
crises or adversities are there only for you to discover your strength.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
after having this brain tumor, I have found new confidence in me that I
Yeah.
can go through these things and I can still be myself.
Yeah.
So
And
that
that comes from
everybody
what
can.
that comes from within, because unfortunately, when you do go to a doctor, and you get a diagnosis like yours or, something like PCOS maybe, and then they give you this, long list of everything. And so that has to come from within you, knowing like you can overcome this, and
Yes.
you're going to get through this. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of, especially in traditional healthcare, and I try not to like bash anything. It's just, again, with my goal of this podcast is spreading stories like yours and just offering other options and knowing what else is out there, but they kind of give you that limiting mindset when they hand you the diagnosis immediately because of how they word things.
Because
um
normally people with normal mindset are not equipped with the right kind of beliefs or the mental tools to deal with situations. So in these kind of situations, normally what a person feels is like, my life has become difficult now. What am I going to
mhm.
do? What
Yeah.
is going to happen? How will I fulfill my responsibilities and duties? So they get crammed up and they get pressurized with all these things. They are not able to see the other options. So
Hmm.
they need to have this mindset or thinking that there are more ways, there are more things that you can do which you are not realizing right now. And once they start trying to find that out, they do discover, oh, this is something also that I can do in my life. So
Yeah.
it's all about mindset.
Yeah. So what would you say would be like, what was the core like mindset principle that helped you navigate your diagnosis and even recovery and then allowed you to respond, with that clarity instead of just living in fear?
The core mindset was I can handle it. Like on in all the areas where you find people go through very pressurized situations, like in elite services or like astronauts or people like that. The core ability that they are looking for is what are you going to do in the most extreme or most pressurized situations? Because in those situations, it is only up to you. You don't know
Hmm.
what is going to happen, like in space. N number of things can happen to you. If you lose your balance, you will not be able to find a way out of there, because you never
Hmm.
know what is going to appear there, or
Yeah.
in your battlefield, or in your mission, what is going to be in front of you. You don't know. You can't prepare 100% for things. So it is very vital that you have that thing in you to be able to calm and peaceful in that situation and figure out things. And that comes with this belief that I can handle it, which is called self confidence. Like confidence is, uh, you know that you can do something, like in your particular field. You have confidence because you have done something very many times. That is
Yeah.
confidence. Confidence can be in your art, can be in your skill, whatever thing you have been doing, you know that you can do it. Self confidence is different in the sense that you believe in the self, you believe in yourself, that whatever is going to happen, even though you have not done it before, but you will be able to handle it. So that is the core belief, I can handle it. So even when something which I am not prepared for, like a brain tumor or something else,
Hmm.
PCOS or some other happening in your life, a big breakup maybe, a financial crisis, anything
Yeah.
of that sort, you don't have any plans for that. What are you going to do? Are you going to crumble? Like your life is finished. What are you going to do in that situation?
Hmm.
In that situation, the only thing that can save you or can keep you calm is that inner belief that I can handle it.
Yeah.
So when I was facing this brain tumor, I had already developed this mindset. I was not born with it. I had developed this mindset that I can handle it. So I knew I will find a way. This has come to me. It is a crisis. I don't know what is going to happen. It's going to be very difficult, but
Hmm.
somehow I will be able to handle it.
Yeah.
I will find a way. I don't know how, but one step at a time, one
Yeah.
small step at a time, I will make my way. I will navigate. This is going to
Hmm.
be fun. So this kind of mindset had developed uh, a few years ago when I was actually miserable, when I was failing in my life. So at that time when I was struggling through things, there I started understanding that what needs to be in you, because at the beginning I was completely defeated and like shattered, but gradually I came out of my failures and understood what failure is, what success is, and what is more important than these things,
Yeah.
which is your own self image, your own self confidence, your own self worth. So the
Hmm.
stronger it is, the more powerful you become, and you are able to handle different kind of situations in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all go through so many things. And, you brought up a good point, whether that's financially, personally, with relationships, whatever it might be. And I mean, I've been through some stuff myself and it's difficult for sure. And there were times, sure, where you want to say,
Yeah.
what am I doing? But I think in the end, as you get through it too, you have to kind of take a step back and say, what did I learn, from it and do some self-reflection and realize how much stronger you are now and saying, yes, I can get through some hard
Yes.
stuff.
Because
Yeah.
see, the real security, Like people become insecure and secure. The real security doesn't come with all the fancies that you create around you, no matter how much resources you can have. But you will not feel secure because those resources can go any day. So anything can
Hmm.
happen in your life. Real security comes with your mindset, comes with your strong self-image that no matter what happens, I can handle it and I can bounce back. That's what
Yeah,
resilience is. So
exactly.
that comes from your mindset, and these
Hmm.
experiences make you have that mindset by positive learning.
Yeah. Yeah. For someone living with PCOS who wants to feel stronger and more in control, how can they intentionally start building that kind of resilient mindset?
Uh, strong self-image, strong self-image, and ownership. These are two important things that I find lacking in most of the people. That their
Hmm.
own view of themselves, like we have view of others, like this is a certain way we look at our husband or wife or children or boss or colleague. We have these images. What is the image that you are carrying of yourself? Is it a healthy
Hmm.
self-image? What kind of story you have about yourself? Are you some victim? Are you somebody who just faces, who just goes through things that others are making him or her to be through? So, what kind of image you have, how to make that image strong? So, the number one thing is that you have to make your uh, self-image strong through the through right kind of story, through right kind of internal dialogue, which has to be positive. Changing your attitude, like instead of victim, being self-responsible towards yourself. So whatever is happening is because of you and you do things, so it is
Hmm.
your response, your thing. So that self image becomes very important in people's life. And the second thing is ownership means you take responsibility of all the things that are happening to you, even your
Hmm.
feelings. Ownership doesn't mean that you're blaming yourself. So usually what we do is we blame others or God, maybe anywhere we are blaming that because of that I am suffering. I
Yeah.
am having pain because of you. It's
Yeah.
not that. It is you only, how you are interpreting everything, how you are creating your boundaries, how you are letting somebody do something to you, how you are choosing people to stay in your life or
Hmm.
rejecting people. That is all in your hand. So are you taking that ownership? Are you taking responsibility? So it is action oriented. So that makes you powerful. That makes you in control of situations. So if you are able to create this good self-image, of course, that's not a day's work. It will take some time because you have to have those kind of formations, everyday practices, habits that create good self-image where you are
Hmm.
owning up the compliments that you are getting every day, owning up your qualities, appreciating yourself, your value, understanding how lovable you are,
Yeah.
and being unconditional about it, removing the conditions that I will be valuable only when I have achievement of this kind or if I look this certain way. Removing all those conditions, and without those conditions, being able to love yourself, not finding that love from somebody else. So that kind of
Hmm.
self-image and this
Yeah.
ownership, that makes you in control.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
am in charge of my life. Like right now, if I talk about myself, I am in charge of my life. I am happy or sad because of me. So
Yeah.
even today, this Safal Sharma was sitting in front of you. Is of his own making, of everything what has happened. I have
Hmm.
created myself. So everybody creates themselves. So you have to be
Yeah.
taking responsibility of your sculpture. You sculpt yourself. So these
Yeah.
things make that kind of mindset, and which ultimately leads to I can handle it. This
Yeah.
is strength.
I especially love that ownership piece because unfortunately, I do see that with a lot of women that I talk to. I mean, even, I'm in some like Facebook groups for women with PCOS, and I see the victim mindset. And I know that's such a limiting factor and helping them get through a diagnosis. So
Yeah,
super important. Yeah.
yeah. It makes you very powerful. If you have ownership mindset, you can, otherwise locus of control is in somebody
Hmm.
else's hand. If somebody else is making me do things or is making me happy or sad, then control is in their hand.
Yeah.
If I remove that control from outside to within me, that I am responsible for everything, I am
Yeah.
responsible for happiness, then I can feel powerful.
Yeah. I love that. So, what is one small, realistic daily practice that anyone with PCOS can do to maybe gradually, develop that mindset? Maybe something simple enough to just that they could start today.
uh, I can handle it. Affirmation is very, very small practice. I would say try to do all the time as much as possible with feeling, because
Mhm.
if you say that I can handle it with feeling, somewhere you start like small little bit, you feel okay, maybe I can do something about it. And when you practice it daily, all the time, uh, minimum you can do like in the morning 10 times, in the evening with feeling, maybe you can write it up or
Mhm.
close your eyes and feel and do them many times. So if you are doing that, this feeling brings you some kind of confidence, and the little things that you are finding difficult in your life or little challenges, at those places you will be able to apply it, and you will start seeing little success.
Yeah.
So these small successes start building up, and you can check your progress every week. Okay, I have been practicing this, what changes do I notice in my life, like I have
Mhm.
practiced this whole week. So you will start, once you start seeing the changes, you feel more confident. Like earlier you were not able to do certain things, now you are feeling more confident about them. So it will start getting part of your personality in months, some months. And when bigger challenges will appear, you are more likely to apply this because you have been practicing it. So I can handle it. Let me, okay, look at it. Instead of just getting into that fearful mode or whatever mode you get into, survival mode, usually you have this new thing, and there is this availability bias. So whatever is available in your mind, it is whatever belief is closest that you have been going through will come to you easily. So when you are
Yeah.
daily practicing this thing, this will come to your head easily. Okay, I can handle it. I can do something about it. So it will make things better. So
Yeah.
this is a very simple practice they can do, and if they want, they can increase, like giving themselves compliment, appreciating themselves every day. All these affirmations uh, in speaking, in writing. So all this gradually builds up and makes things stronger, especially when it comes into practice. So when you apply
Mhm.
it in things, that then your confidence becomes even bigger. Okay, this works. So start
Yeah.
with this simple practice, like I can handle it.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
You bring up a good point because I've talked about this before as well. The subconscious likes to keep us safe. And
Yeah.
so when you're telling yourself all those limiting beliefs for years and years and years, that's what your subconscious knows that is like you're happy with and you're safe with. And it doesn't allow you to heal, to, release weight, to get through these difficult times. And so by breaking that pattern and saying, nope, I can handle this, I'm going to get through this, whatever, like you said, affirmation or mantra they want to use, I think it just breaks that pattern. And then your
Yeah.
subconscious starts transitioning to,
Changing.
oh, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I tell people too, because I use some of that throughout my program, especially like when it comes to food. I talk about something called the sugar monster. And I say, like, talk to the sugar monster and tell the sugar monster you don't want any of that, but not just in your head. Say it out loud, write it down on paper, like get it out in some form
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
See, all these things are just mental habits, beliefs
Hmm.
people are carrying. The reality is made up of all these beliefs, and which may not necessarily be true. It is only your interpretation of reality that you have
Yeah.
based on the knowledge that you have had. And unfortunately, most of these beliefs, most of these realities that people create are created when they are child, when they're very young, when their knowledge is very limited, when their brain is
Yeah.
not developed, so they are not able to analyze things. So they just
Hmm.
absorb everything from their environment. So if the environment is not good, they create this all these false beliefs, belief that don't work for them, these
Hmm.
realities, and then they are just reacting to things, surviving. All their sympathetic nervous system are always activated. So it is necessary to change those beliefs or realities with knowledge or with these practices. So this is a good belief. I can handle it,
Yeah.
which you can. Like
Hmm.
you are no less than any other person on this earth. You're just like everybody else. So if others can do it, why can't you? So you
Yeah.
can also handle it. So
Yeah.
practicing these things just changes your belief, as you said, the subconscious and all the other things. This now
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah. If someone hasn't yet built that mindset, of course, maybe a sudden flare, a symptom spike, unexpected diagnosis shakes them, what could they do immediately in that moment to just kind of steady themselves and keep pushing forward instead of getting into that, victim mindset?
This is something that I have been practicing for a very long time, and it has it has made me very powerful, especially in these kind of situations. So Uh, what your mind does is that it tends to get into this emotional state. It's fear or sadness or whatever. It gets into emotions, and brain cannot have emotions and thinking at the same time. You can either think
Hmm.
or you can either emote. So in psychology also, in those tools, one of the thing is that you get into the thinking mode. So you start labeling or you start introducing questions and stuff like that. So what I personally do is get to the question that what can I do about it? So whenever these crises or something, what can I do about it? So I'm getting into that thinking mode.
Hmm.
Some crisis happened, what can I do about it? What is the first step? What is the immediate first step? So when I'm doing that, so my mind starts working in that direction, and suddenly those emotions are like on the back seat, and maybe not on the first few tries, but if you are practicing, solutions do start appearing to you. When you emphasize on and take efforts, that what can I do about it, options appear, which
Hmm.
not which don't appear when you are emotional and when you are hazy and like suddenly crammed up with all those emotions. But when you are thinking and your mind starts to calm down, options do appear. Okay, I have this option, this option. So this option that I can do, this is not something that I can't do. For example, I'll give you the brain tumor thing. There, when I told myself, what can I do about it? This has
Hmm.
happened. What can I do about it? Okay, I have asked my mother, can I try some alternate therapy and not go for surgery? The first step. Okay, I can I look at other options? The brain tumor is too big. We have to have surgery. Within a week, I had surgery. So we have to have the surgery. So I can't do anything about it. Not in my hands. I have to go through surgery. Doctors. Fortunately, my parents are doctor. They will find somebody really good. They can figure it out. And usually, I'm very research oriented. I do get into various kind of research. I'll dig up what is brain tumor and stuff, all the things.
Hmm.
So at that time, when my mother said that you have to go through surgery, again question, what can I now do about this thing? So because of my previous knowledge, I knew that parasympathetic nervous system, which is heal and digest, rest, stuff like that, and
Hmm.
sympathetic nervous is stress and hyperactivities. So I immediately knew I have to go into that parasympathetic nervous system mode. So I have to calm down. So
Yeah.
I did not research anything. I just calmed myself down, take took things easy, and went through surgery and stuff. So I was into that mode. What can I do about it? And even now, and
Hmm.
even before that, I was practicing this thing. Whenever some situation, I was outside in another city for a trip, and my luggage got broken up. It was night time. There was nobody who was speaking my language. I did not know at that time I was having this pain. I did not knew that it was because of the brain tumor.
Mm.
So suddenly I was like, what am I going to do here? And like stranded. And then again, what can I do about it? When I went into that mode, oh, I realized that I have this cloth in my bag that I can tie in my luggage and I can pull it along. And suddenly, voila, I had this option and I was doing things. So what can I do about it? Is fundamental, a mantra for people which can they can use and practice in their daily life, which
Yeah.
will, I'm sure,
And
probably help.
yeah. And I think even like one of the important things too, you know, when you ask yourself that is even just education, starting with education, when you get a diagnosis like yours or like PCOS or anything else, just start educating yourself
Yes,
too. And then that also can help you, okay, now what can I do about it? What's my next step, going to
yes.
be? Yeah.
Education is always helpful. Always.
Hmm. Yeah.
It equips you. Knowledge is like light. If you don't have knowledge, if you don't have light, it is darkness.
Hmm.
So that of course always helps. My thing was like I get into that drive mode, like too much into things and then stuff like that. So, but people they should educate themselves, know
Hmm.
about things as much as possible, and that definitely helps.
Yeah,
The only thing is that don't get into that emotional kind of state, or like don't get into the fearful kind of state. Do it
exactly.
like thoughtfully and in a peaceful and calm manner. Equip
Yeah.
yourself, become strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Super important. Love that. Uh, Last question is how can anybody find you if they want to connect with you? You're doing some motivational speaking, I believe
Yeah.
yourself. So yeah, how can they find you and connect with you?
My website is www.safalsharma.com, SAFALSHARMA. There have all my social media links. They can connect with me. They can find me out there. And if anybody needs any help or want to know about my experience, if that helps them, they are most welcome to connect with me.
Awesome. Love it. And of course, I'll put all the links in the show notes as well. But yeah, well, thank you so, so much for joining me. This is, again, love this topic. I think this is super important for so many people to hear. And I really appreciate you sharing your experience.
It was wonderful talking to you. And my only goal is that your listeners, everybody who's listening to us, they do get this mindset and do get this understanding that they are incredible, awesome, lovable, worthy, no matter what. Full conviction without any condition, no matter their background, color, where they're coming from, what they have done. Despite all of that, they are wonderful and they are lovable. They should know this more than me. They should know themselves that they have this in them.
Yeah. Love
Thank you.
that. Love that. Thank you. What a beautiful reminder that healing, whether it's from PCOS, any other diagnosis, or a life altering event, always starts within. I love how Safal said it. Confidence is knowing you can do something, but self confidence is knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. That's the mindset we talk about so often here, shifting from fear to ownership, from limitation to possibility. If Safal's story resonated with you, make sure to connect with him at safalsharma.com. I'll have all his links in the show notes. I would love to hear how this episode inspired you. You can send me a message on Instagram at healthy_everafter15 and let me know what you think. Until next time, keep nourishing your body, healing from the inside out, and thriving. You got this.